Hello, and welcome to The Standpoint. Today we have, as always, we have very interesting programs for you. But today is extra special because I have an all-male panel. The men are excited when we have the all-male panel. Yes, and we're going to have a very, very thought-provoking discussion. So in recent times, I'm sure you've heard the conversation about what a man has to do and what a woman has to do and how the line shouldn't cross. Today we are going to find out, is it wrong for a man to get his hands a bit dirtied in the house? And we are talking about hands-on husbands. Men married, and they get involved in the house chores, in raising the kids, in cooking sometimes, in cleaning sometimes, and in sometimes serving their wives breakfast in bed. Not just because they've given good sex, but because they think they deserve it. We take a break. When we come back, I talk to some hands-on husbands.
To the women who inspire, thank you for the push to always do better. To the boss ladies who keep it lit while handling their business, cheers. To the Facebookers and those who do it for the gram, we see you, fam. To the mothers, friends and sisters who are there for others and still do great things for themselves, you are the real MVPs.
For every occasion, we've graced alongside you, for making us a part of all you do. GTP has come this far because of you. Yet Damase. We love you, God. Thank you for the gift of you.
Water gives life. Water is life. Enjoy the pure, refreshing taste of Awake purified drinking water, which comes in a uniquely designed bottle with a lemon green tap. Water is your perfect way to stay hydrated. And remember, for every bottle you buy, an amount will be donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center, Ghana. Awake purified drinking water. One for life.
For bulk purchase, contact 0262 351 251.
Okay, welcome back to The Standpoint. Yes, hands-on husbands. That's what we are going to talk about. And I have a full studio filled with a few men and a lot of women. And in the studio, I have a student from University of Ghana, Legon Hall. Hey, good to see you. And then, of course, Special Women of Value Events team. Hi, hello, good to see you. And then my own baby, my baby who I haven't seen in 2 years. She came to do her internship with us in 2016, and she left, and she's come to surprise me today in the studio today, all the way from Germany. My baby Elena and her friends. Welcome. Oh, please put your hands together for them. Now, give Elena a microphone for me.
Oh, mommy, what are you doing? Hey, is it on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, yo.
That's too much.
Good to see you. So what brings you back to Ghana?
I miss Ghana so much. I was really feeling homesick, so I had to come back and see you all.
Oh, good to see you.
Yeah.
So how long are you staying this time?
4 weeks.
4 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
1 month.
Yes.
Okay. So what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the banku and the wache.
And the fufu?
Yeah, I prefer wache.
You prefer watching? Okay, all right. Good to have you back.
Yeah, thank you.
In the studio, seated at my extreme left, it's Mr. Jojo Bediakon. Mr. Jojo Bediakon wears so many crowns. He's a premarital counselor and host at City FM. He's also a mentor, a father, and a brother. Good to have you on the side for my soul brother.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. And next to Jojo is Mr. Paul Ankra. He's known as Belay of Joy FM. He's my brother. I mean, when I say my brother, I'm not kidding. Good to have you on the Standpoint.
Thank you, Gifty. It's good to be here.
You know, you are the one who came up with this. I mean, actually, you did say it. I listened to you on radio,
sure,
and I just thought that we should have this discussion.
Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're part of this. And next to Paul is Sheikh Muhammad Bagia, Chairman, Accra Center for Religious Dialogue. And he likes to call himself brother.
That's all.
He's in Nyonyam's uncle at large. Good to have you back on the Standpoint.
Good to see you, Hajia.
How has it been being a father?
I'm looking for the right word to describe it, but it's fulfilling. Let me put it that way. Very, very fulfilling. Very, very fulfilling. Especially when you have a girl child. You know, I've been involved with my daughter from day one. When she was born, I was right there, and I've been involved in her life 8 years down the lane.
What's your socialization of who a husband has to be?
A husband, more or less, is going to have to be a friend, a partner, a confidant, somebody who is trustworthy, very reliable, very firm, very strong. When I say strong, not as in masculinity, but strong here. You know, a husband has got to be somebody who will be there. I think that is the word. You ought to be there all the time. Is
that your socialization? Is that how you were raised to be as a husband? Or it's something you picked up?
I grew up in the midst of 5 sisters. You know, so I saw all of them married out before I got married. And my family is a very broad family, very, very broad family. We have this social orientation where we're there for each other. You know, my mother, she got married when she was very young. And so her firstborn is more or less like her own sister.
Right.
My mother married when she was like 18. You know, so by 19, she had her first child.
Right.
You know, so, and there's 7 of us. We're very close. It's a tightly knit family. You know, we're there for each other. And so with that kind of orientation, it doesn't matter where you go, who you live with. You know, you just gel easily into the person's life. And it's been so wonderful for me.
Jojo, what about you?
During my secondary school days, you know, seeing my father was, I don't know if I should call it the hands-on, because the hands-on thing, I'm sure we'll get there. But he was a gentleman. I mean, he hardly will be in the kitchen as he's supposed to be. But I think that he did so well in other areas. You know, so my view of a husband was that man married to a woman. They go to church together. You know, they do things almost together. But that was in that little mind of my understanding in those days. Yeah.
Do you think this era of women saying that men should be able to be involved at home, to be able to cook and clean, do you think it's out of the...
No, I don't think
extraordinary.
No, I don't think it's an extraordinary request, because like I said earlier on, in the past, in the olden days, the ladies used to be at home, the men used to go out and live in to raise the family. But things have changed in the world we live in. Women are leading very successful careers. They're all in the workplace. And as a result of that, there are certain pressures that come onto the woman and also onto the man. Now, when you actually get married, you're husband and wife, it's very important that you try to establish a certain baseline as to what you want for your relationship. How you want to actually cultivate a relationship, how you want to raise your kids, and who does what. So if you don't establish those baselines, then sometimes the expectations can get out of line. She expects you to do this, you are not tuned into it. He expects you to do that, and you are not attuned to it. That sometimes can lead to problems. But from my own personal perspective, I've always been hands-on with all my kids. Always been hands-on, right from the day they were born.
You've always been. I like the smile on your face when you said always been. It's something you've really enjoyed doing.
I've enjoyed it. I mean, with the exception of my first child was the girl. She's 28 now. She, unfortunately, I missed her birth by 20 minutes.
Oh.
I was traveling when I got there. By the time I got there, she had popped out.
Yeah.
But the other two, I was there. And I always say to men, if you don't respect a woman, go into a labor ward and watch her deliver your child. It's an experience you'll never forget. What they have to go through, it's quite experience. But the joy of actually...
Of course they'll be happy.
Yeah, but the joy of actually carrying your child in there is an experience that you can never forget. It's a timeless memory.
It's a timeless memory. And on that timeless memory, let me take another break. When we come back, we'll continue. We'll get into being hands-on husbands and whether it is worth it, whether it is important or it's something that you can choose to do or not to do. It's not by force. We'll be back.
To the women who inspire, thank you for the push to always do better. To the boss ladies who keep it lit while handling their business. Cheers. To the Facebookers and those who do it for the gram. We see you, fam. To the mothers, friends and sisters who are there for others and still do great things for themselves. You are the real MVPs.
For every occasion, we've graced alongside you, for making us a part of all you do. GTP has come this far because of you. Yet Damasi. We love you, God. Thank you for the gift of you.
Hi, my name is Gifty Auntie. I'm an author. Have you had your copies of my books yet? One is already on the market, A Bit of Me. Now, A Bit of Me is arguably the most inspirational book when it comes to Ghana. Within a week, it became #1 on Amazon under the survival biographies category. Yes, that's how powerful it's been. Many testimonies have come out of it. Now, my second and third books are 50 Nuggets at 50. The 50 Nuggets is about my 50 experiences in my 50 years on earth. The best of you encourages you to bring out the best in you. I mean, you can see yourself through this book as if you're looking through the mirror. It's just to encourage you, to motivate you daily. Short quotes, but they are very powerful to keep you going. You can call 0543-618182 and pre-order those two books. Remember, it's all about you. Today's readers are tomorrow's leaders. We all aim to be the best of ourselves. Thank you. Today I come to you once again pleading that you continue to support us. For the Girl in Need Foundation, it is 1 Ghana cedi or more. Yes, free SHS, but we take care of children from birth till they are 18 years and below. So if you want to donate, you can send us money on 0544-844-122. It's a mobile number, 0544-844-122. Or you can call us on that same number. And then the Award and Swar reading projects. What we want to do, and we have started doing, is to make sure that children in rural communities have access to storybooks wherever they are. Because we believe that books, especially storybooks, help them to actually dream and dream big and then live out their dreams. So that one, if you want to support us, you you send us the money through Momo number 0543-618182. 0543-618182. If you want to donate books as well, storybooks, you call the same number, and wherever you are, we'll come for it, or we'll direct you as to where to bring it to us. Happy Feet will make sure children, again in rural communities, have access, have the joy of also wearing brand new shoes during Christmas. And so we will plead with you that if you can't get us the shoe, you can send us money on 0543-618182. Just indicate what you want the money to be used for, and then we'll do exactly that. But if you have shoes for us, please again call us and we'll come for it, or we'll show you where to bring the shoes. Thank you very much. God bless you even as you give. Welcome back to the Standpoint. Sheikh, who is a hands-on husband?
A hands-on husband.
Do you clean at home?
I do. I even cook. And
you cook?
There's a certain contumely that I learned from you. You know, you came on television some years back and you prepared this contumely with cabbage and zucchini.
Yeah.
Yes. And I had my pen and paper taking all the notes.
Sheikh, this was years ago.
Many years ago. And the first time I prepared that meal, that's when I was...
that's when I was hosting a Maggie Food moment.
You see that?
Yes.
That's when I was, you know... So she came to visit and
you prepared for a child.
Some meal for her. And I think the meal did the magic. You know. But on a more serious note, a hands-on husband. From where I come from, you know, as a Muslim and as a Northerner, the cultural context would have to be considered seriously, so we can have a holistic definition of what a hands-on husband is. Where I come from, men have ego. Men have seriously inflated ego that sometimes can split atoms with its own self. So you don't want to touch it.
No.
But again, there's always a line again where religion crosses over into culture. Right. Where you consider religion as a culture itself.
Yeah.
A wife is not just any human being. You know, she's your blueprint for God himself. You never are a complete man except when you have a wife. You know, so when you marry a woman, she gives you 50% coverage on your journey towards good. That's like a jump start. All you need to do is to treat her well, and then you become a perfect reflection of God himself. And so for a hands-on husband, I think it is more of a necessity than just something that we just mention.
Okay.
You know.
And now when we're talking about let me come to you, talking about, I'm not looking at a man who provides. Like a hands-on husband who helps at home.
Yeah.
You know, not stick to the good old way of doing things that wife has to come back from home, come and cook. You know, a man who, even if doesn't know how to cook, can cut the tomatoes and all that.
Yep.
Is that acceptable? Is this something that...
No, I mean, my perspective on that, or my take on that is quite simple. When you come into a relationship, you're married, and you are in a home with your partner. You remember earlier on, I touched on the fact that the world we live in now has changed from what it used to be. Women have careers, they're working long hours, they're doing their bit to bring their bit of the cake to the table. So when it comes within the domestic setting, it's a question of understanding. There are some people who have been recently married and they still believe in the old traditions that woman must do this, man must do that. That is a decision they make amongst themselves. Personally, I hold a different view, because I've always been a hands-on person right through my life. Even not when you're not even talking about the family home, just things that I've been a very hands-on, practical person. So I hold the view that what you can do to support your wife in the home setting is always a good thing. So my little daughter, the last one, my wife had to go to work. I actually stayed at home and bathed her, changed her, fed her meals and all that. I did all that. And it's not something. You see, and I think Sheikh touched on the issue about the whole question of egos.
Right.
I think that's sometimes a bit of a barrier to trying to build your own marriage dynamic or your home dynamic, because you have to evaluate your own circumstance, and everyone is unique. But for me, the basic thing is the common understanding as to how you're going to work as a team. And for me, it's not a problem doing that. I mean, I take her to school, I bath her, I get her ready for school, iron her clothes, do the homework with her. So it's not a problem for me at all. And I remember some time ago, I went to see my father-in-law. This was going back probably about, must be 13, 15 years ago. And there was some sort of a discussion, and he got to know that sometimes I will actually scrub the kitchen floor.
Yeah.
And to him, it was like, have you lost your mind? But for me, it was more a case of, if you see it's dirty and your wife is not in, do you have to wait for her to come and do it? You are there, you're seeing it. Sort it out. It's no big deal.
You know, Sheikh always says something, Jojo, I'm coming to you, that our challenge now is to take the book that was written 2,000 years ago and apply it to today's, you know, what is the word?
Reality.
Contemporary situation. How to apply it. So if, for example, you take the Bible and say in the Bible, men did this. So today, meanwhile, in the Bible, you know, people were traveling on camel's back and stuff like that. Or you take the Quran and say that in the days of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon his name, people were doing this, and so I'm going to do that. How is it going to work?
I will recommend that for every relationship, we are talking about husbands here, so for every relationship, it has its peculiar characteristics.
Right.
So I will recommend that the office, as we have always known, of the woman has always been, if you like, the kitchen. But we also have three areas. We have the two extremes and the average. So for the first extreme, a husband who is invisible, you don't see him ever in the kitchen. And then the other extreme, and I'm not talking about just kitchen, I mean, he's just not visible, he doesn't help. And then we have the other extreme, someone who is so much pronounced to the extent that she steps on the foot of their wife. And we had a little discussion with my group, and they said there are husbands who measure the level of salt or pepper in a soup. And if you have that kind of husband, then the woman will be in trouble. And then we have the average, which I believe is a recommendable one, that yes, the office of the wife is in the kitchen, cooks, watch, whatever, but lend a hand where necessary. And that's a lifestyle, that's an attitude. That's something, if you don't know, it can be taught or developed. But I think it all hinges on communication. You see, sometimes you get a man who may not touch anything in the kitchen, but will be there morally, I mean moral support, giving you all the stories and just being there. You know, would you describe that person as hands-on? So it's all about the kind of communication, non-verbal and verbal. That's how I see it.
You say it, right. Did you agree, Paul?
Yeah, I agree with Jojo on with regards to what he said, and it's quite an interesting point, because the whole question of defining what works for you is extremely important, because you can't define one particular relationship or one particular arrangement as a template for everybody.
Exactly.
You have to understand your own dynamic. You have to understand what works for you. And then there has to be some understanding and agreement that this is what we are going to do. So it's a question of playing to your strengths.
Exactly.
That's extremely, extremely important. And I think sometimes people just go too much on the culture issue and also what society is saying.
So it's about knowing who you are married, and sometimes not just, even if the person loves doing or has accepted to do it, every now and then you go into also show some love, your act of love, isn't it?
Exactly. This thing about blending too well with your partner is also very important. I'd always made this analogy like water in its crystal pure state. So is a case of marriage,
Right.
you know. But it is the riverbed that mostly determines the color of the water, depending on where it is. Water is always white, but if the riverbed is blue, then it appears blue. If it is red, water then appears red. So is our marriages. You know, the union is always one, but the riverbed of our marriages determines the color and the flavor of the marriages we live in. So if you want to be a hands-on husband, you need to have a proper understanding of all of these things.
Hey,
for you
shake
to be able
flavor.
to be, you know.
Imam flavor.
One.
Well, let me take another break. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion. We'll be back. Hi, my name is Gifty Auntie. I'm an author. Have you had your copies of my books yet? One is already on the market, A Bit of Me. Now, A Bit of Me is arguably the most inspirational book when it comes to Ghana. Within a week, it became #1 on Amazon under the survival biographies category. Yes, that's how powerful it's been. Many testimonies have come out of it. Now, my second and third books are 50 Nuggets at 50. The 50 Nuggets is about my 50 experiences in my 50 years on earth. The best of you encourages you to bring out the best in you. I mean, you can see yourself through this book as if you're looking through the mirror. It's just to encourage you, to motivate you daily. Short quotes, but they are very powerful to keep you going. You can call 0543-618182 and pre-order those two books. Remember, it's all about you. Today's readers are tomorrow's leaders. We all aim to be the best of ourselves. Thank you. Today I come to you once again pleading that you continue to support us. For the Girl in Need Foundation, it is 1 Ghana cedi or more. Yes, free SHS, but we take care of children from birth till they are 18 years and below. So if you want to donate, you can send us money on 0544-844-122. It's a mobile number, 0544-844-122. Or you can call us on that same number. And then the Award and Swar reading projects. What we want to do, and we have started doing, is to make sure that children in rural communities have access to storybooks wherever they are. Because we believe that books, especially storybooks, help them to actually dream and dream big and then live out their dreams. So that one, if you want to support us, you send us the money through Momo number 0543-618182. 0543-618182. If you want to donate books as well, storybooks, you call the same number, and wherever you are, we'll come for it, or we'll direct you as to where to bring it to us. Happy Feet will make sure children, again in rural communities, have access, have the joy of also wearing brand new shoes during Christmas. And so we will plead with you that if you can't get us the shoe, you can send us money on 0543-618182. Just indicate what you want the money to be used for, and then we'll do exactly that. But if you have shoes for us, please again call us and we'll come for it, or we'll show you where to bring the shoes. Thank you very much. God bless you even as you give. Okay, welcome back to the Standpoint. But Jojo, do you know how to cook?
Yeah, I'm a very good cook. You know, I lived in in Oxford for close to 7-8 years without my wife.
Okay.
Yeah. So I remember, Oxford is a typical white man's land. And I attempted cooking. Anytime I make a mistake or I'm not too sure, I have to call Ghana and be sure, which is the next stage of the mix. And then finally I found a place called Cowley Road where we have all the foods that Africans could eat. But I have to say it took time for me to learn how to cook. So yes, I can cook, but I have been a bit lazy.
Lately.
Because my wife herself is an extremely hard-working wife with, cooking. So all the best I do is, she does all the food, put in the fridge or freezer. Mine is to just heat it. And then, but obviously I cook rice, yam, those are easy to do.
Because when there's stew, you can cook rice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But yes, I can cook. But I think that I haven't been too active in the last few years.
Okay. So you haven't given your wife a treat?
I've given her a treat on her.
Treat that you cooking for her, like a treat?
I have done fried eggs.
That's right.
Right? And I've done a few stuff, right? At least I told her, don't step in the kitchen.
Hey.
Right? Yeah.
Didn't she panic?
No, I think she knows that when I charge, it's another level. So.
My soul brother has charged.
You see?
But in the kitchen, frying eggs.
Well, I mean, that's just one of the examples.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just one of the examples.
And you cook rice?
And rice is easy
yam,
to do.
okay.
And I'm not talking about rice cooker.
Okay, proper rice on fire?
Proper rice.
On fire?
On fire.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Sheikh, do you know how to cook?
Oh, I'm a champion.
Hey. Apart from the contombre and cabbage stew.
I'm a champion.
Hey.
I did this breakfast for my wife once.
Okay.
And then it is like she wanted me to continue with the breakfast thing. Because it was so superb.
Chai.
She loved it so much. And thank you. And I remember once, when you sometimes you do have slight quarrels and stuff like that.
Okay.
So she went off, she got mad, and then she decided not to.
She went angry. She got angry.
Okay, angry.
Yes.
And she decided not to do some things. So, but then she never knew that I could cook this well.
Okay.
So I took over the kitchen with my apron.
Chai.
And then she was watching from a distance. And then the flavor started catching up. And then she would sneak in and watch small. And then she would go back. Once I was done, anyway, it was contemporary. Anyway. Once I was done, and I was in the bathroom, she snuck into the kitchen, had a taste of the food. And she was like, the food is sweet. So she went back to the bedroom. And I was watching I went to the bedroom. I came out, had my lunch, stepped outside for like 5 minutes. When I returned home, she was eating my food. So I can cook. I'm a very good cook, except for those things that I've not tried my hands on.
It's like you intentionally stay trapped her. You wanted to see if she would eat your food.
Yes.
That's why you said you weren't going anywhere.
And then she ate it. And once she ate the food, you can't move.
Billy, what are you know how to cook?
Yes, I know how to cook. I won't try to cook everything, but no, I'm pretty good at what I do.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good because I remember when we were in the UK, I just met my wife not too long ago, and it was a case of she came in, wanted to sort out the kitchen the way she wanted. No, you don't have this in here. Put this pan, this. I said, fine, let me go on with it. And one Sunday, I said I was going to cook, and it was, oh, really? So I said, just watch. It's similar to what Sheikh was saying. So I said, just sit and watch. You watch television. Went in there, and I rustled it up, put it on the table, and then she came in and said, wow. And it's quite interesting. Men who know how to cook tend to be better cooks than women.
Yeah, it's true.
Tend to be better cooks than women.
Yeah.
Now, because of work pressures, because my work takes me all over the world, I travel a lot, I don't get time to spend in the kitchen. But when I do it occasionally and I'm rustling something together, I do it pretty well.
But there are two things I know how to cook better than my husband. Garnet soup and okra soup. There was a time during my pregnancy, I said I would eat a mutu. My husband said, no problem. He went, I called him, sweet, what have you done? He said, oh, I've prepared the light soup and put the granite paste on the side. When you're ready, mix it.
That's a start.
When you're ready, mix it. Really? He had prepared complete light soup.
That's a royal light.
No, but how does it make you feel as a man, knowing that you are involved in keeping your home, like being a hands-on husband, where you are involved in the daily affair?
It is very satisfying, so to speak. You know, I know for sure that some men would love to be hands-on husbands, but like we discussed, it is a case where sometimes the guy does not even know what to do in the first place. Has it been communicated to him, like my brother here said? We would love to. So for those of us who can do stuff, at least one or two things at home, it makes us feel very, very, very satisfying.
And also when it comes to the children, it is a great way of bonding. It is a fantastic way of bonding because you get to see them grow. You get to see them say things that you've never heard before. And they also start to learn from you. And those are very important tools in terms of laying the foundations for the child. And especially for the boys. They tend to get a lot of their direction and what it takes to be a man, what it takes to be a husband from their father. Mothers are there to provide the love, the support, and nurture and support the family. If you don't establish those bases very early in the relationship, it can usually lead to problems. And sometimes it can lead to collapse of a marriage.
Yeah.
Because the expectations are unrealistic and there isn't an understanding of where he's coming from or where she's coming from and what do we do. Every marriage relationship is unique. There is no template for a marriage. Everyone's unique.
There's no template for a marriage. Okay, let me go to the audience. Legon Hall. It's the lady who raised her hand first, so go to her first. Yes.
So my question is, how do you be a hands-on husband and still earn the respect of your wife?
Thank you.
Okay. In a home where the man is the sole breadwinner, would it be prudent if the man, will it be realistic if the man decides not to do all these things, be the hands-on husband?
Okay. Now, Peter, if you take how do you become a hands-on husband and still earn the respect of your wife? Because it is assumed that once you do that, then your wife will respect you.
Yeah, it's a very important question that we have to address because we have always been trained or we've been sensitized to the fact that a woman should be in the kitchen, for example. The man's supposed to be the breadwinner. When that role changes for any reason, if you're not careful, there is the generally held view by either the two parties or even society that, wait a minute, why are you doing something that is supposed to be a woman? So you have to be very careful, and this is why you have to really understand your own dynamic and understand that, look, I'm here as a support system to you. I'm not here to be your slave.
You're right.
So if and when these type of situations arise, understand that I'm here to support you and communicate with me in a manner where I can then react to meeting your needs.
Right.
But don't take that as a right for you to abuse what I've been doing. Okay. And that's extremely important.
Now, finally, is it realistic to expect a man who is the sole breadwinner to also be a hands-on husband at the same time?
It depends on the context, once again. You do things. We do what we want to do because we do things because we want to do them. Simple as that. Sometimes you provide for, you take care of everything, but still you want to go the extra mile to do some other things too as well.
Yeah.
Like my sister is saying, you're looking at the bigger picture. What do you think is right? It's not about what somebody thinks. Yeah. It's about what you think is right for you to do. So there are instances where breadwinners or whatever, somebody got angry because they called him breadwinner. So whether the breadwinner thinks, okay, I'm the breadwinner, so I don't want to be a hands-on person. It depends on the context from where he is coming. I, for instance, And then again, sometimes it depends upon what is going on. Like my brother here said, it depends on what is going on. You know, every action begets a reaction.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to be very careful sometimes too, because not to be disrespected. So I'll go back to the context as always. You know, it depends on what you want. You know.
Jojo, finally.
Yeah, so it's realistic. I mean, it's something that has to do with the bigger picture. If you know the bigger picture, you know, really you've said everything, because if you know that this is what is needed at this particular time, it doesn't matter whether you are tired or not. You always go the extra mile. However, let me make this very profound statement that all women need is just a little push. Just a little push, and most of them will be appreciative of that. So it's not about being tired and you're doing everything. It's the bigger picture tells you go on and do what you have to do.
Thank you very much. I'll be back with a bit of me. So yes, there are hands-on husbands here in GH, Ghana. Men who appreciate that a beautiful home, a happy home, deserves two partners. A husband and a wife. Do things together. Too many homes have been broken because too much is expected of one person. Sometimes just the woman is expected to do everything and all, and sometimes the man is supposed to provide everything because of what society has designed for men and women. And this is slowly killing us. We are afraid of what people will say when they get to know that it's the woman who pays the light bill or pays the school fees or whatever. Or it's the man who cooks and cleans the house and sweeps the compound and whatever. And so we decide to keep quiet and keep to ourselves and will not do it. When you know you can do it. We can all help each other. After all, let me be a bit controversial here. The Bible says the woman is a helpmeet. We are supposed to help the men. So the men are supposed to do the things, then we will help them. But if now you want us to carry the whole burden, it becomes a problem. You know, but we as women too. When the men do things out of love, we need to appreciate it. A little thank you. Oh, thank you for breakfast. Oh, thank you for sweeping. Thank you for ironing. Because you're doing it out of love. The same way you are cooking out of love. The same way you are washing out of love. You are paying school fees out of love. Because by and large, I don't know. I know people say that you need a bit of that and that for marriage. But I believe that the most powerful ingredient you need for marriage is love. Because when you love somebody, genuinely love the person, there's nothing you will not do for the person. You do everything. You will share because you love the person. You will not kill the person. You will not hit her or him or insult or disrespect because you love the person. Love, for me, is more powerful than we as humans understand it. We take it too much on the surface. So yes, we need hands-on husbands to be involved in the lives of their wives. A little bit here, even sometimes your presence while she's cooking, your presence while she's bathing the baby, your presence while she's ironing, your presence while she's sweeping. Just communicate something to her. You love a woman, truly love a woman, and she'll do anything for you. And you respect a man, truly respect a true man, and he will do anything for you. As usual, my name remains Ohineye Gifty Auntie. As for me, I believe in doing my best, my bit, right? And leaving the rest to God. It doesn't make me perfect. Oh, Lord, no. Nowhere near perfect. But I learn every day. Thanks to the Standpoint and my ever-resourceful guest. And I hope you have learned something too today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, I have super crazy faith in God.